Welcome back to the Space Traveler's Guide to dungeons that people have done guides on. Today we're covering the Heroic Lost City of Tol'Vir instance. We did this with 2 guildies and 3 pugs. Paladin, Tank, Shaman, Healer, and a Mage were the 3 pugs, and then myself and Zeranthus were the other 2 DPS. You can see this tank kind of got off to a rough start. Had the Mage sheep pull, and then marked the hunter mob as the skull. So I, being the good DPS that I am, I went and attacked the skull. And killed the skull. Zeranthus helped. A little. Anyway, the main thing to know about this trash, you have a couple of mobs that are problematic. The hunter mob. More predominantly, though, the want to look out for the plague bringers and they're either dark casters or shadow casters. Something dark and scary and ooh. Those you want to have as your primary kill targets or your CC targets, depending on the group level or the gear level of the group. And those guys, the little Neferset dudes, make up the majority of the trash. You see here we're coming up on the little mini-boss, the Oathsworn Captain. He is really just an overgrown trash mob. Has about little over a million health. The main ability you're gonna see right now is that little earthquake thing. Tank has to move him out of it so that the melee can continue doing melee things. As you can see, I guessed the wrong way. Didn't think that the tank would just back into the wall. Regardless, he's dead. Now we're going to move forward here. We're at the first boss now. General Kusam or Kusam or something or another. He has 3 main abilities that you really need to be aware of. Don't mind my phone. The first ability he does, he drops mines literally all over the place. He also does this ability on Reg, but it's severely ramped up on Heroic. He also does the shock wave, where you can see the little clouds of dust. Then it becomes like a little rock wave thing. He will detonate the mines periodically throughout the fight, and they'll also blow up if you walk over them. So one strategy that allowed the tank to make up for his earlier transgressions, you're going to see here shortly. He basically just pulled the boss kind of around the pillar and then started kiting him down down the hallway here. And I don't think we're going to see it on this kill, but the third ability he has, he'll pick up a random party member and ram them into a pillar, which really hurts, especially if you bounce off and then land on a mine. Yeah, and that's really, basically this guy is a tank check. Testing your tank's kiting abilities. Anyway, the last little notable trash here are these annoying-ass little pygmies. They kind of stand shoulder on top of shoulder of each other. There are 3 of them. 2 brute, a scout, and a fire breather. My personal preference is to kill the fire breather first because he does a dragon's breath, which works just like the mage ability. Does an AoE cone fire damage plus disorients anyone hit by it for like 4 or 5 seconds. So now we're moving forward. I decided to leave the footage in here of us skipping your first encounter with Og, and then a couple more pygmy pulls. They're optional, as you can see. It's not really all that hard to skip them. And we come to Lakma. Lakma is actually a fairly simple fight. The dragon rule applies to him. Don't stand in front of his face unless you're the tank. Don't stand behind his tail because he does something painful. He will also cast Scent of Blood on a random target, and then he's going to summon these little baby crocodiles. For the most part, they just need to be AoE'd down. Splash AoEs generally is sufficient. At some point, Og joins the fight and just kind of whirlwinds around and generally is a nuisance. You can see Dust Flail there. That's the reason you don't stand behind Lakma's tail. Because if you're standing back there, you'll be in lots of pain. Figuratively, not literally. At, I believe it's about 15% Lakma enrages. Does more damage. Steal through it. And then when you kill him, this is actually where the fight ends on Reg. On Heroic, however, that is not the case. You see the little baby crocodiles disappear. Og appears from the distance. Says, basically, oh, how dare you kill my pet. But I stole the treasure already, so now you have to kill me. And so basically Og has 3 main abilities. He does a Whirlwind, just like he does as a Ad in Lakma. He does Smoke Bomb, which I believe works just like the Rogue ability, reduces your chance to hit. And that's all there is to Og. Alright, so we move on to the next boss, High Prophet, Barum. He's a 2-phaser. In Phase 1, he has an ability called Plague of Ages, just a disease, needs to be dispelled. And he will summon a little Phoenix ad that's going to leave a trail of fire, which makes mobility annoying. But otherwise you pretty much ignore the Phoenix, unless it's beating on the healer. It also does a skill called 50 Lashings, which you can see the little sun pillar, if I would close Baggins and get it out of the way. At about 50%, he'll cast Repentance on the entire group and effectively life grip you all into his little circle of life. And then you're going to be shifted into the Shadow Realm. Phase 2 begins. Your job here in Phase 2 is to kill the Dark Phoenix, while also making sure that you kill the souls that are severed, because they buff the Phoenix. And it's just not good. Other than that, nothing really special. Once you kill the Phoenix, you all get yanked back in and shifts back to Phase 1. So anyway, you killed this guy, get your loot. Siamat is like, I am unleashed! Because he's cool like that. You take the tornado up, and yeah, here we are at the last boss, Siamat, the Lord of the South Wind. Siamat is also a two-phase fight. Phase 1 consists of... I'll wait till the paladin actually pulls. Phase 1, which I think the paladin forgot about. I know I was prone to doing so when I first started doing this instance. Phase 1 is all ads. He'll puts a bubble on himself, and you can't do damage to him. He'll alternate ads between the servants, which are melee ads. And what are the other ones called? Oh, Minion of Siamat, which is a caster mob. They're also going to drop the little green swirly tornadoes of doom that will become relevant in Phase 2. Anyway, you kill 3 sets of ads, and then he enters Phase 2. I'm going to see here, the transition phase, he casts Wailing Winds, which basically just tosses you around like a ragdoll. This is a good point for Bloodlust, Time Warp, etc. Right after everyone kind of settles in and starts DPSing the boss. Now you can see there, he casts Absorb Storms. Basically what he does is he sucks in any of the green swirly daubs, and then does lots of AoE badness. I know I'm eloquent. If you've been watching these videos from the beginning, you know what to expect from me. Anyway, other than that, he does a lightning bolt that's not interruptible. He really doesn't do anything super special. Just a lot of AoE damage if he absorbs storms. And that's it. That's your heroic Lost City of Tol'Vir. Thanks for watching.